Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid Mohidin. This is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Today we're going to be talking about the IPL and we're going to do a preview for the final. Mumbai Indians versus Delhi Capitals. What we're happy about is that there's three South Africans in the particular game, and we're really going to be able to see South Africans take on South Africans. And particularly, we're going to see the best bowlers in the country, basically, as many would say, take on the best batsman that people would say in our country. So without further ado, let's waste a lot of time. I'll have to tell you first, guys, to subscribe and click the notification bell and do all of those things before we get our main analyst on the show, and that is Mr. Aditya. Aditya, welcome to the show, buddy. Long time no see. I thought that we weren't going to speak again because I thought that the South African teams would be knocked out, but with the Mumbai Indians obviously right on top and Delhi Capitals in an amazing victory last night, I think it was an unbelievable performance. Let's go into it. Let's start with yesterday's game.
Yeah.
First and foremost, what was that like to watch that particular match?
There's been a debate about the Delhi Capitals sort of falling away after putting up a dominant show in the first 7 games, and it appeared as if they would have one team that would compete with the Mumbai Indians, because the Mumbai Indians probably the one team in the IPL who've got 11 players in their team, and every single one of them is in good form. Every single one of them has put in a match-winning performance. So it appeared as if the Delhi Capitals were the only team that could match that. But when they were falling away in the second half of the tournament, it appeared as if there were doubts and there were some cracks that were visible. But to see Shikhar Dhawan bat yesterday, I think in the last 5 games, he scored 3 ducks. So to see him get back into form, to see Marcus Stoinis opened the innings, and I think they notched up some 65 in the first 6 overs in the power play. And they went on to get 189. It was good to see Shimron Hetmeyer get a few runs. So that was great. With the Sunrisers, it appeared as if they had momentum on their side. And, but the lapses in the field and David Warner getting out to KG, I think second ball, it appeared as if their hopes were dashed. But then we've got Mr. Cool, Kane Williamson, come in, and he's rescued them so many times. It appeared as if he might pull one off yesterday as well. Unfortunately, it was not to be, but he still played a brilliant innings. That said, I think it's fitting that the top 2 teams from the league stages are now contesting it in the finals.
Yes.
So let's see how they go.
Yeah, obviously KG's performance phenomenal again, 4 for 29. I mean, incredible bowling from him. I think 3 of them came at the back end of the inning, so showing that his ability is getting there to be able to really become that clinical, I could say death over bowler that we be looking for in South Africa. And Anrich Nokia also showing that what he's capable of as well. Hi guys, everybody in the comment section. Aditya, I think it's something that we've been getting quite used to, is when a lot of teams are actually trying that out by playing an all-rounder at an opening position in a few matches, opening the batting with him. I mean, we saw it with Sam Curran as well for CSK when they did it as well. So what is the thinking behind that before we bring on our first caller?
I think in both cases, the reasons were a bit different. So with the Chennai Super Kings, they brought Sam Curran on because they thought that he was an explosive batsman who was sort of not getting enough balls towards the end of the innings. And these pitches being the way they are, it's very difficult for a new batsman to come in and strike from ball 1. So in this case, it was perhaps an aggressive move, because if you look at the CSK campaign, I think after the 5th or 6th game that they played, they sort of changed their game plan, and they had Faf and the other opener, whoever it might be, whether it's Watson or Gaikwad or Curran, go more aggressively in the first 6 overs, so that the middle order didn't have to deal with run rate pressure. With Stoinis, it was different. Prithvi Shaw played brilliantly in the first 7 games, and he scored a couple of 50s as well. But again, we started losing confidence towards the second half, and then with Shikhar Dhawan also scoring 3 ducks in 5 games, they didn't have another option. So Stoinis, having batted at the top of the order for the Melbourne Stars in the PBL, this appeared to be perhaps the most feasible option. And it appeared as if Ricky Ponting was having that conversation with Stoinis for quite a while. So I think that was the thinking.
Lupabalo, come on, guy. One more game. Just put it in there to support your teammates or your guys from the country. Come on, KG and the boys. You have to just support them for one more game. Maybe even Quinton Tukak. I don't know what you fancy. I know you wanted this tournament to be over, but one more game. Let's bring on our first caller. I've got Munir here with you. I've been waiting for a long time to get him onto the show and ask him some of his insights. What's up, Munir? How are you doing, brother?
How's it? Good, and you?
Good, thank you, man. So, what I want to ask you is, how much of the IPL have you actually had the chance to watch? A lot or a little?
Like me personally, I'm not such a big fan of the IPL. Just T20 cricket in general. I'm more like a Test match cricket, ODI type of fan.
Yeah.
And I just get, I see all this hype about all the South African players in the IPL, like Rabada and Nokia, all these players, but if you look at like all the depth the other countries have, like you have India, you have all these fast bowlers coming through, all these batsmen. But for us, we know Quinton de Kock is one of the best batsmen in the world. We know Rabada is one of the best bowlers in the world. But besides that, there's not much other South Africans coming through because Modis has not been doing well. Dale hasn't even been getting games for the World Challenges that I've been watching. I'm not sure if he's injured or what, or maybe just not getting any game time.
I think he's just not getting game time. Aditya will know more.
Yeah. Like I would still say for me, like Dale Steyn's probably one of the two best bowlers in our country outside of Bard and Dale Steyn. I'm not sure. You can't really say Nokia is one of the best bowlers in the world because he's not been doing this consistently. So I'm saying our second best bowler, or arguably our best bowler, is not getting any game time for an Indian IPL team. Yet you have all these other Australian bowlers, like so much depth coming through. It just shows that I think the main reason for that is because like all the South African players don't get much chance when they're youngsters, or they get one game and they're out. I can think of many examples from that. Like Ardis Fuyun got one game, one test match and he's out. So like all these players that's come through in South Africa, all like older players, and so that's why we haven't been able to develop these youngsters coming from young already. And like the other countries have. And now when you see when they get to like 25, 26 and they have so much experience, they have like 100 games, 50 games, whatever, and then they're so much better than our players because they're 26, 27 coming in for the debut and then out and then for the debut. So that's why I'm not getting too excited about Rabada and Quinton de Kock, because that's 2 players out of 11. Like it's not going to win us anything. We're not going to win games with 2 players playing well. And then you're going to have Australia having 9, 10 players playing well. India's miles better than us. If you think about the Indian players that don't get in their team, they would walk into our team. Think of the bowlers that's coming through for us. Baden Hendricks is probably going to open the bowling for us in ODIs, and Dane Pattinson. They would get nowhere near the Indian team, nowhere near the Australian team, nowhere near the New Zealand team even. And that just shows, I think, how far we've fallen. Yeah.
That's why we need you on more streams. Because that's the kind of opinion we're looking for. Because I think Lumabala's probably laughing in the back end over there in the comment section. Like, this is exactly what you want to hear from someone say. But let's try, Munir, for this particular preview for tomorrow's game. Let's try to bring some positives into it.
Yeah.
Because let's try to. Because I mean, I know exactly where you stand. Because I feel the same way. I think that our youngsters need to be given opportunities. We wanted the MSL to be able to do that. So that's why I think that for the next MSL, when we get that opportunity, they need to put 3 rookies in each side, not only 2 or only 1. I think they need to make a statement that, okay, 3 rookies or 2 rookies, because South Africa is it's much smaller with regards to the amount of numbers that we have with regards to cricketers developed, give more opportunities for youngsters to have a chance. But okay, let's talk about tomorrow's game. Munir, let's start with you before we go to Aditya. Who do you think will win this one?
I think the Mumbai Indians will win. I just think because the depth they have in their batting lineup, I think Hardik Pandya is probably the best finisher in the world at the moment. Just every time he comes in, it's brilliant. Karen Pollard is there. I think maybe he's a bit overrated sometimes, but because he's big and stuff, and people just think he can hit the ball far. I get so annoyed when I hear that on the commentary the whole time. It's like, oh, he has big muscles, so he can hit the ball far. It doesn't make any sense. Like, there's no correlation. Like, there is little correlation, but not much correlation between like the amount of muscles you have and how far you can hit it. if that's true, then all the whole IPL team would be bodybuilders, wouldn't it? You have Quinton de Kock, they can probably hit it further than Pollard, but yet the commentators keep going on. They're like, Pollard is so big, he can hit the ball so far. But yeah, I suppose that's the standard of commentary we have in cricket nowadays. So
Maybe we should give you a commentary gig, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know. It feels like it just makes the game feel so like fake sometimes when they just go on about they're using all the words about how brilliant the shot is. A batsman blocks the ball and it's like unbelievable block, brilliant. But if you look, being honest, it wasn't that good. Or they covered drives before. They're like it's an unbelievable shot. But if you're thinking like, is it unbelievable? It's not like it's very believable because it happens all the time. Like they use that word unbelievable. So when something unbelievable does happen, like in the World Cup final, then I just wasn't buying the commentary because I've heard that before in many times. So yeah.
So you're gaining a quick following over here in the comments and fandom, eh? You need to come on much more often, okay? Aditya, from your point of view, Munir, that's exactly how I know you. Look, Aditya, from your perspective, who do you think's going to win this one?
Oh, it's a $1 million question because on merit, on paper, I think it's very hard to beat the Mumbai Indians. They've played 5 finals in the IPL. They've won it 4 times. So they know how to play finals. And Delhi are playing their first final in the IPL. So I think that comes with less baggage, I suppose. And they have Ricky Ponting as coach, who has more than a little bit of experience in playing finals. So I think on merit, on paper, Mumbai Indians significantly stronger than Delhi, but who knows? I think as a cricket fan, maybe it would be nice to see Delhi hold that trophy for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think I don't know if you know the stat. I don't want to put you on the spot here, Aditya, but how many times in the history of the IPL has a team actually defended the trophy? Because we obviously always talk about it in Premier League. We always want to talk about who. Chennai, how many times have they? Only once.
So Chennai, 2010 and 2011, they won the title.
Okay, cool. So it doesn't happen often.
No.
Yeah, so it's one of those things because even in the Premier League, the people ask a lot who's won it twice in a row or 3 times in a row. It's like very difficult for teams to defend it. I mean, that's what made New Zealand rugby team so great to be able to defend the World Cup. I mean, that's something phenomenal. Munir, with regards to you, I just want to ask you about what you think about, for example, Anrich Nokia. I know what you've seen from him, how he's changed his bowling from India. When we've obviously watched him play in India and in the ODIs and etc. and in some games, how he's improved over time. Because I think that from our point of view, I think with regards to his variations and his accuracy and his consistency, he has really improved that. Yeah,
like he has everything to be one of the best bowlers in the world. He has, he obviously has a pace, and he has, I think he has the bowling intelligence nowadays, to bowl the slower balls and when to bowl it and all that stuff. So I think he'll be a great asset to us. And the one thing he has that our other bowlers are lacking, like Peter Hendricks and all those other players, is that he has the experience now. He's bowling against the best bowlers in the world, and that was just make him a better player. So you just see over time, like when we do play against India, we play against Australia, that he will just be so much better because he has all that experience. He knows how to bowl against Steve Smith. He knows how to bowl against all these players. So I think that's obviously a great factor. I'm not sure how old he is. He seems quite young.
26.
He's 26. Yeah, so I'm saying for him, he's a South African youngster. And then we look at the Indian players and they're 18, 19, 20, and they're competing against the best players in the world. So just frightening to think that when they turn 24, 25, what type of team India is going to have. And it's going to be crazy. But overall, I think it's very positive, and I can imagine him being another Dale. Okay, maybe not that good. I don't think anyone can be that good, but nearly as good as Dale Steyn.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Munir, for coming in on the show. I really enjoyed your commentary. Please come on our other shows as well when we do have them. We'll be chatting soon. Thanks a lot, bro.
Thanks for having me. Okay.
So Aditya, final thoughts from you before we say goodbye to the guys. You can see that you have a couple of fans in the live commentary. I always enjoy your commentary. That's why I always try to bring you on.
Thank you.
Yeah. So your final thoughts for tomorrow's game.
I think on merit, if you look at the Mumbai Indians team, they're far more balanced. They've got Quinton and Rohit at the top of the order. Both have got winning scores. Surya Kumar Yadav has been brilliant. I think it's been his third consecutive season where he's scored, I think, more than 350. He's a very good player. They've got Ishan Kishan, who's done well this season. He's, I think, third on the list of highest run scorers. And we've got Hardik Pandya and Kyron Pollard in the batting. So that's a powerhouse batting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel like if they bat first, they're going to put up at least 170, 180. Delhi, on the other hand, their batting has been faltering a bit. They're over-reliant on Shikhar Dhawan, Marcus Stoinis, and Shreyas Iyer. So I think if Delhi bat first and they get to about 160, 165, with runs on the board, they'll have an advantage because they also have the bowling to defend score. And the pressure of a final is different. I think however experienced Mumbai may be, whatever the quality of their players, the pressure of a final is different, and the pressure makes you do funny things. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. But to me, it'll be very interesting to see how teams assess conditions. Because you look at Abu Dhabi, for example, on the strip that the eliminator was played between RCB and SRH, the average score on that strip was 140. On the strip that yesterday's game was played between Delhi and the Sunrisers, the average score was 180. So how teams deal with that will be very interesting and will be incredibly important, a determining factor for who wins. But that said, good luck to both teams. It's very hard for me not to support Mumbai because home city and been following since the IPL started. But I also wish Delhi the best. It'd be nice to see a first-time winner.
Awesome. And I think, like Werner says in the comments over here, funny things can happen in finals. Mumbai have the better team, but a few key guys in Delhi perform out of their skins and they might surprise everyone. And that's the type of players they have in their side.
Absolutely.
Guys that can just pull things out of nowhere. We know Shikhar Dhawan, for example, he can just put on an amazing performance out of nowhere. For me, particularly, I'm not going to really take sides. I've had a difficult history with the IPL because initially I was a big fan of Herschel Gibbs, so I followed the Deccan Chargers at first, and then he moved over to the Daredevils for a little while.
No, he moved to Mumbai.
Did he not? Did he move to Mumbai?
He moved to Mumbai. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So then, anyway, so when AB went to Deccan, initially when AB was at the Daredevils first, right?
Yes.
Don't let me stuff this up. Yes. When the AB was at the Daredevils first, I followed AB to the Daredevils, right?
Yeah.
And then I was like, because I just followed players too, because at the first I wasn't like obviously following it as strictly. I was catching games where I could.
Yeah.
So I first was with AB with the Daredevils. When he moved to RCB, then I was like, okay, I'm going to follow AB to the RCB. But then obviously my love-hate relationship with AB. So I was like, maybe I should go back to Delhi again. I don't know. So I don't really have a team. I'm just going to sit on the fence with this one. But yeah, so it's one of those games that you don't really know what's going to happen. It's going to be what I would like to see from a South African point of view is I want to at least see Quinton try and take on KG and Andrich and survive those spells. And if they're going to take his wicket, let them take it after he gets like a 50 or 60 or 70 or something like that. Like that's the ideal situation for me. But I want to see a battle between AB and KG and Andrich. I mean, okay, I don't want a dismissal like the last time, even though that dismissal really was very popular on social media. I don't want another dismissal like that from Andrich Nokia to Quinton. But I'd really like to see a proper battle between those South Africans. So that's what I'm hoping to see. Aditya, this lastly, do you think it's going to be a high-scoring game? Or do you think it's going to be a low-scoring game? Or are you just like sitting on the fence with that one?
Honestly, it depends on the pitch. The stat that I just gave you, I think my view is that it's going to be like a 150, 160 sort of game, but it's going to go down to the wire. It's going to go down. Whoever wins, I think is going to win it by like 5 runs or something, less than that.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in.
And bats first. Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in. Stay tuned for Aditya's analysis. Obviously, he's going to be giving his analysis after the game, a nice, good write-up about everything that he's experienced in this tournament, etc. But we're also going to do obviously a wrap-up of the final tomorrow evening for our daily show. Once again, live here again. If you guys want to, let us know on social media. Go to Twitter, go to Facebook, go to Instagram. Let us know if you guys want to call in on the show and you want to have a live call-in when we bring fans on the show, because we'd obviously like to have a conversation with you guys too. Thanks a lot to everybody for watching. Thanks a lot for Aditya for giving us his amazing analysis. Thanks a lot to Munir for giving us his critical analysis. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell for all future videos. Keep an update on cricketfanaticsmag.com. We will be updating you on all things cricket in South Africa, and specifically from a South African point of view, and obviously Aditya's roundup for tomorrow. We also have a wrap from our buy that he's put out there, obviously with Bjorn Hendricks taking 7 wickets, his best performance in first-class cricket, 7 wicket haul. It was an incredible performance. He completely destroyed, obviously, the Cobras. We also had an amazing performance from Reinhard van Tonder, who scored a century. We have an interview that we just shared on Facebook about Reinhard van Tonder. It's a very good in-depth interview to get to know him a lot better if you guys really want to know. If you want to check on any information about the finalist, we have at least Andrich Nokia's on lockdown episode, which really gets to know him as a player. If you guys want to go check that in our lockdown episode series at the below. Don't forget to download the latest issue of the magazine. The link is on the screen and in the description. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care.
All right. Cheers, man.